Hello, 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 good people. Hello, good people. I am Dr. Hollie Kelly, and this is Dr. Kelly's perspective for August 21st. August 21st. Okay, so you can see that I have entitled this perspective, Love Yourself First. You've heard the saying that we can't give what we don't have, but too often, that is left or thought of as only the material. Like you can't leave behind money you don't have to the next generation. You can't leave a house behind. You can't leave, a big estate behind. You can't leave connections if you don't have those. But this is what I know. Let's back that up. Even before we get to leaving houses and lands and everything, you can't even value others. You can't even love others unless you love yourself first. And too many of us, thank you for all who are joining me, too many of us are skipping over the basics. We're skipping over the basics and yet still trying to value and grow and learn and love each other when we don't love, when we do not value ourselves. And it's backwards. It's shallow. It can only go so far before it is seen, before holes begin to poke through it, before your patience runs too thin too quickly. You cannot give what you don't have, and that's including loving yourself, loving others, valuing others. And I do not mean love yourself because you're a size 2 or a size 0 or fill in the blank with whatever your size is, or because others have told you, oh my goodness, you got it going on. Do you know how tight you are? You got it going on. Because if someone is telling you that, next week, they can tell you something different. They can withhold all the compliments. And if our entire entity, if our entire essence was caught up in or was founded on the fact that, well, yeah, I'm a wonderful person because so-and-so said I was. Because if that's as deep as your foundation goes, it's going to be shaken. It is going to be crushed. It will be crushed. And so again, we are trying to move past the hard work because some of us did not grow up with the idea, with the intention, with the habit of learning to love yourself just because you are. Just because. Not because you've got long, beautiful hair, or because you've got a beautiful complexion, or because you're so smart, or because you have natural inclinations. We link the two. Well, I love myself because I am smart, because I am a nice person. Well, what about when the times you aren't nice? What about the times when you are not intellectually gifted? If the love was founded on the because, it's a shaky foundation. We have got to learn to love ourselves just because we are. And I'm telling you, if for everyone who just thought, well, that's just so self-centered, I think you need to love others. Okay, listen to me. You cannot give what you do not have, period. You cannot give love if you do not love. If you don't love this, if it doesn't start here. Okay, and so I personally do not know how. Thank you for all who are joining me on both platforms. I have absolutely no idea how you begin to learn to love yourself outside of the God who created you. I just don't know how you do it. Well, I do know. I think some people do it based on the stuff. I can love myself when I feel good about myself, when I'm looking good, when others have told me it's okay. That's shallow. I think it's important that we always go back to the master creator, to the manufacturer's manual. What was the purpose of this design? So If you had needed to be taller, shorter, thinner, a different complexion, if you had needed to be born into a different, as a different gender, if you needed to be born into a different family, in a different, on a different continent, if you needed to be more intellectual, if you needed to naturally be more observant, if you needed to be something different, you would be. He would have created you differently. I always wanted to be 5'10". I thought and I still do. I think 5'10" on a woman is just the most perfect height. God knew exactly what he was doing when he stopped me at 5'2" and a half. He knew exactly what, I would be a hot mess because I already think I'm a cutie pie. I mean, I don't need nobody telling me I'm cute. When y'all do, it's just so nice. I'm sort of surprised when people say it. But that's just not anything. I just already think I'm a cutie pie. Had I been 5'10", I would have been a hot mess. He knew what he was doing when he stopped me way down here at 5'2" and a half. But I love me just because I was brought up that way to do that. And if for everyone out there who did not have the experience of being raised in a home and being taught to love yourself just because, to recognize your value. You are valuable. You have value just because. If you don't ever bring an A in this house, if you fall every time you try to walk over your own left and right foot, if every relationship that you get in seems to go haywire, I'm going to encourage you to back up to the basics. Back up to the basics. Do you value yourself outside of all the stuff? Do you love yourself? And if not, I would submit that it's because it's become a habit. You have, it's a habit now to downplay yourself. It is now a habit to think lesser of yourself. It's now a habit to speak unkindly to yourself. It has become a habit to doubt yourself and to devalue and minimize yourself. It's a habit. It has become a habit. Well, guess what? People break and make new habits every day because you are stifling all that you could be. When you do not recognize your own value, you cannot give what you do not have. You can't. And so back up and learn to habit yourself into loving yourself, into valuing yourself, into recognizing all that you bring to this earth. You bring something, and you bring it in a way no one else. I think we're like 7 billion on the planet now. Okay? 7 billion. There's no one like you. None. There is no one like you. I don't care if you have an identical twin. There's no one like you. And so the master creator designed you to be perfectly unique. Not saying that we don't work on our issues, because we all got them. Not saying that we don't that we do not have a desire to grow and become all that we were designed to be. Yes, do that. But on that journey to becoming all that you were designed to be, love yourself. Value yourself. Know your value. Know your value. Okay, so I happened to see a couple of people over the last few days who I didn't even have to ask the question. I wasn't trying to ask because I didn't need their response. I know that they don't value themselves. It's crystal clear. You can see it a mile away. And I would submit again to you that rehabit yourself. Go back to the creator's design. He has never made a mistake. If you needed to be more or different, he would have designed you like that. Okay, so until then, Take real good care of yourself and value and love yourself today.